us, Lord, to love you as you loved us, Father, and gave yourself for us. You didn't hold anything back. You gave your life, you gave your time, you gave your blood, you gave your flesh, so the will of Father will be fulfilled. We will be saved, and hell is not our portion. We thank you, Jesus. And as you gave yourself for us, Lord, willingly, we give ourselves to you. We are yours, Lord. We belong to you. We love you, Jesus. We love you, Lord. We love you, Jesus. We love you, Savior. Hallelujah. We love you, Lord. And tonight we open our heart. Hallelujah. To hear your voice, to hear your words. Here we are, Lord, to receive from you. Here we are, Lord, to follow your words. Hallelujah. You say that those who are hungry for the kingdom of God, for the truth, they will be satisfied. Hallelujah. Lord, tonight we are hungry. We are waiting. Oh, hallelujah. We are ready, Lord, to receive. Our hearts are ready, Lord. Pour out your rain today. Hallelujah. Pour out your glory, your spirit and strength. Hallelujah. Yes.
Father, we give you tonight. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you because we know that your spirit is here tonight.
Yes.
Lord, we'll give you praise, we'll give you adoration. Father, we worship you. There is none like you. There is none like you, Ancient of Days. There is none like you, King of Glory. There is none like you, I am that I am. There is none like you, the mighty one in battle. Father, we worship you because we know that you are the only God that you have. You are our Abba Father. We thank you because we know that tonight none of us will go home empty-handed. Father, we know that your power will touch us tonight. That your blessing will go with us tonight. Lord Jesus, we thank you because you are the master of this ministry. You are the author and finisher of our faith. Lord, we thank you for your presence that is in this auditorium this hour. We thank you because we know that our heaven is open tonight. Father, we thank you because I know and for sure that that individual is going to get deliverance tonight. Spirit of the living God, I am convinced in my spirit that that person open door is right now. That the things that have gone wrong is going to go right. For in the eyes of men, it's like it has gone wrong. Everybody know that it's not possible. what your word say in the book of Luke.
Yes.
1 verse 37. He said, for with man it's not possible.
Amen.
He said, for with God all things are possible.
Amen.
Lord, we know for with man
Yes.
they are seeing it that is not possible. But with God all things are possible.
Amen.
That's why the woman of issue of blood, when man could not save her, Bible says she has gone everywhere looking for solution. And all the physicians in that area know her. But one day,
Amen.
she said in her heart,
Yes.
if only I could go and touch the hems of the garment of our master,
Amen.
the one that have the healing power with him,
Yes.
the one that when man said it's not possible, it became possible when we met him.
Amen.
And she was going. I believe in my spirit that people were pushing her that day. There is a lot of stumbling block, hindrances going on. But she kept her mind on Jesus.
Yes.
And when she touched the hem of the garment of Jesus, Jesus said, who touched me? Power have left me.
Amen.
And the woman, when she showed forth, he said, woman, thy faith has made you whole.
Amen.
Father, we know tonight somebody's faith is going to set that person free. We know that in this service tonight, as far as the heart of us is open,
Amen.
and we are willing and obedient,
Yes, Lord.
we will eat the fruit of the land.
Glory to Jesus. Amen.
I remember the woman, another woman that Bible Jesus said, is he not the daughter of Abraham
Yes.
that Satan has kept in bound for so long?
Amen.
When Jesus was in the service, like tonight,
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
for 18 years, this woman was kept bound.
Amen.
Satan thought that he has won,
Amen.
but he never knew that one day
Amen.
that Jesus is going to be in that service.
Amen.
The way Satan could not hinder that woman that very day,
Yes.
and Satan could not hinder you tonight.
Hallelujah.
Whatever infirmity,
Amen.
Jesus will take it away.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
And when Jesus looked at the woman, he said, woman, he said, are you not the daughter of Abraham
Yes.
who served God,
Yes.
who goes to church every day?
Amen.
He said, woman, today is your day.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
It's only but one day.
Amen.
One day.
Thank you, Lord.
And 18 years infirmity was there with. And
Amen.
Bible said immediately
Yes. Amen.
she was made whole.
Thank you, Lord.
We know that tonight, when Jesus met someone tonight,
Yes.
immediately,
Amen.
it doesn't matter, it doesn't wait for tomorrow.
No.
And there was a man by the pool of Bethesda
Yes, Lord.
that waited for healing for 38 years. Every day, this man was living on hope because his faith had failed him. But one day, the hope became reality.
Amen.
He was waiting for the angel, but he who created angel showed forth.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
He was just waiting for the angel. But Jesus said tonight,
Yes.
Jesus looked at the man and said, no, your case is urgent.
Amen.
If I begin to wait for my angel to be sent, it can be too late.
Yes.
Because you have to wait in this infirmity for so long. And when Jesus showed forth that 8 years, the infirmity was destroyed.
Amen.
I don't know how long we have waited,
Amen.
but there is always a good news.
Amen.
I said it on Sunday when I was doing video for this service. I said, every bad news, there is always good behind bad.
Amen.
If English people cannot find that opposite of bad is good, they will not write it. So there is always a good news when you receive bad news.
Amen.
If only that you are willing and obedient.
Amen.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
We cannot count one by one. Blind Bartimaeus, Bible says he was the son of the great man,
Yes.
but he was blind. Not, he wasn't seeing anything. Nothing in his life was working. Even though his father was great, but his life was blind. But one day, he heard that Jesus was passing by.
Yes.
He said to Satan, if you take my eyes, you cannot take my voice.
Amen. Amen.
If only that we can say to Satan, if you can be able to hinder me this way, you cannot hinder me to the house of the Lord.
Amen.
When people were saying, blind Bartimaeus, shut up your mouth, Jesus would have seen people who have eyes. He said, look, you have been hindering me enough, but as far as this man is passing by, you cannot hinder my voice.
Amen.
And Bible said, the more they try to hinder him, the more he screamed louder.
Amen.
Until he got the attention of our master.
Amen.
When our master comes, he said, what shall I do for you?
Yes.
He said, if only that I can receive my sight.
Amen.
He who created him, give him a new sight.
Yes.
Tonight is the night of encounter.
Amen.
The power of Jesus is here tonight.
Amen.
He's going to set us free.
Amen.
He's going to make us whole.
Amen.
It doesn't matter how many years.
Yes.
Because the Bible says that 1,000 days, 1,000 is like a one day unto the Lord.
Yes. Amen.
I don't know who the Lord is talking to tonight.
Amen.
Knowing that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you have gone through. One thing I always say here, whenever Satan stop with full stop, God starts with capital letter.
Amen.
Whenever you are reading a book and you saw a full stop, the next thing you will saw the capital letter.
Yes. Amen.
So whatever Satan stop in your life tonight, God will start writing with capital letter.
Amen. Lord.
Jesus is here tonight.
Amen.
One thing I like about Jesus, there is always an evidence.
Amen.
The miracles of Jesus come with evidence.
Yes. Amen.
So once Jesus is in a place, there must be evidence.
Yes. Amen.
So tonight, Jesus is here.
Amen.
The only thing I want you to do is to open up your heart and lift up your hands and say, Father, locate me tonight.
Locate me tonight.
As we are going to worship the Lord one more time again. As we are going to worship you, Father,
As we are going to worship you, Father,
locate me.
locate me.
Let my book of remembrance
Let my book of remembrance
be open for me.
be open for me.
Jesus, lover of my soul. Jesus,
Lover of my soul, Jesus, I will never let you go.
Take me
From the
that Satan cannot move you out of. Because his power is available tonight. You are going to step upon the rock of ages. Worship you, my Lord, until the very end.
Worship you, my Lord, until the very end. Worship you, my Lord, until the very end.
I want to see you. We're going to just lift up your heart because God is here tonight. Yes, Lord.
The eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart.
I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord.
Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart.
I want to see you. I want to see you.
You high and lifted up,
Shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. See you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, 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 holy. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you.
Father, tonight we want to see you. We want to see your power. We want to see your glory. We want to see your presence. We want to see your fire. We want to see your light. That in this this service, let your light shine. Let your light shine. Let it shine. Not only for us, but for our family. Father, let your light shine. Lord, after this service, make us to be a light to the whole world. Let this service transform us to be a light to our working place. To our friends, let us be a light to them. Let us be a light to community. Let us be a light to this land of Ireland. Father, thank you for doing it. Father, thank you because we know that your presence is here. Blessed be thy name. We'll give you glory, we'll give you adoration. We'll thank you, Holy Spirit, because we know that you have already taken your place. We'll know that we are going to go home, be filled with you, Holy Ghost. That our heart is going to be filled with you. That the joy of the Lord will be our strength. Holy Spirit will ask you tonight to move in our midst, to move in our situation, to move in our family, to move in everything concerning us, and let your power manifest in those situations, and let the glory return back to Jesus, and the blessings will be upon us. Thank you for doing it. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Someone celebrate Jesus. Celebrate our Master Jesus. Celebrate the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. I am that I am, the uncomparable Redeemer. Glory to Jesus. Wow. You may sit down on the head of your enemy, which is Satan. Because he can walk on my microphone. I don't know what is going on. It's battery. Okay, no, that's okay. We'll get it. We'll get another one. No, it's okay. We'll get another one. Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Oh, we thank God because we know that I said it very soon when we go to the other place. We are gathering things that are going to make our ministry more soundable. Glory to Jesus.
Amen.
And it's because of you. We thank God for people for all their time, seed and offering, If we are expecting very soon more speakers and more Michael, we need to change things for God. Glory to Jesus.
Amen.
And what we have used it to other things. And this brother is here, is helping, because we want a standard ministry. When we move to the other side, we want this. We are looking forward for, but when we get the whole budget, we can be able to say this is what we need. This ministry, we don't raise money if we don't need money. We don't just come out and say we need money. No, we'll try to manage whatever God is giving us here. We'll try to put it in use for the benefit of people. Glory to Jesus.
Amen.
So we always, and people has been helping. Glory. When we call for keyboard, people had poured on the keyboard. Look at how this keyboard is speaking now. We said it is going to be a prophetic keyboard, and it was. So you can know that you are part of this keyboard. So that's why we are trying to bring people together so that we become part of what God is doing. Well, we have in our midst Sister Kelly. Is it Kelly? Am I mistaken? My good sister. Sorry, I thought it's Sister Kelly. Can you just clap your hand for Sister Kelly, please? Clap your hand for. I know definitely, she's from South Africa,
No.
I know. Is it? Botswana. Oh my God, it's the same thing. All of them are Southern Africa. Glory to you. Are welcome, Sister Kelly. Okay, you can sit down quietly on the head of your enemy, which is Satan. So our enemy is Satan. So we sit down on top of Satan. Sister Kelly, you are welcome. Glory to Jesus. So we have in our midst, I believe that God will touch you tonight. God will transform your life. You are not going to be here as a visitor, but very soon I know the whole of your family will be here.
Yes.
Because nobody in the divine power of Christ deliverance, this is only ministry. I can guarantee you the power of God is here every day.
Amen.
Life has been transformed. Because this is the only place you can hear the truth. We'll preach the truth regardless of what you are giving to God. It doesn't concern us. So even you like, it doesn't. It's up to you and your God. Glory to Jesus. So this is the only ministry because Bible said, thou shalt know the truth shall set you free. It didn't say, thou shalt preach a corner word, because no, we don't preach the corner word. Glory to Jesus. Don't mind me, I'm just that kind of prophet who like it that way. God bless you for coming. You see, tonight is another night. It's a wonderful night because I know where God is going to take us tonight is going to be glorious. Amen. It's going to be powerful. Amen. We started this month, we are dealing with spirit. And I said it that every issue, there is a spirit behind it. If you can understand that every problem we're having, there is always something behind it. There is nothing happen for nothing. Glory to Jesus. Amen. Something must be behind it. So that is what we are going after tonight. That anything that happens in our life, if we can identify the spirit behind it, we can overcome them. Amen. Glory to Jesus. Amen. So that's why here we'll try as much as we can to bring people to the knowledge of knowing what is fighting them. Because it's when you know your enemy, you can defeat your enemy. Amen. If you don't identify your enemy, you cannot defeat your enemy. And we know that anything that is behind our problem is always Satan, but Satan has department by department. Glory to Jesus. Hallelujah. Because Ireland have department by department. You cannot go to the Department of Justice and say, I'm looking for a house. They will chase you, they will say, here, I'm sorry, here is for justice, is for paper. We don't need anybody that look for us. You can go to the Department of Housing. Glory to Jesus. Amen. Lift up your Bible. Say, Father, this is your word.
This is your word.
Teach me your word.
Teach me your word.
Holy Spirit,
Holy Spirit,
open my eyes
of
understanding to see the
to
mysteries
see the mysteries
and to understand
and to understand
the mysteries of the word of God.
the mysteries of the word of
Open
God.
my heart
Open my heart
to receive it.
to receive it.
Open my ears
Open my ears
and my mind
and my mind
to hear
to hear
and to understand
and to understand
it in fullness.
in fullness.
Let your word
Let your word
help me
help me
to make a good success
to make a good success
in Jesus'
in Jesus'
mighty name.
name.
And so, dealing with the spirit of Haman, we have many Bible reading we are going to do tonight. So, dealing with the spirit of Haman. Elder, if you can go with me to the book of Esther 3 from verse 1 to 11, please, quickly. Book of Esther 3 from verse 1 to 11. Nobody is putting on the screen for us. There, we don't have copy.
The book of Esther?
Yes.
What verse?
Book of Esther 3. Chapter 3 from verse 1 to 11, please.
After these things,
Yes.
did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him, and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, Why transgressest thou the king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Jew. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Jews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. In the first month, that is, the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast pur, that is, the lot, before Haman, from day to day and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is, the month Adar. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, There is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all the people, neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. If it please the king, let it be written, that they may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business, to bring it into the king's treasuries.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
You know, the spirit of Haman. I was looking at the whole thing. I said to myself, this man has got promotion. Who know, as what Bible says. But because everybody is bowing down to the man. But one guy, who is Mordecai, found himself to be one of the gate man. But let me say this to you. Sometimes when we carry the Spirit of God, we can find ourselves in a place of humbleness. But that doesn't mean that we lose who we are. So this man knows who he was. He knows that he was the people of God. Because he finds himself in captivity doesn't make him to lose his value. So Satan, the powers that brought them to captivity, is expecting for him to bow down because he has given this man promotion. Because Haman was very close to the king. That's why sometimes in a place that we are, in our working place, it happens. When you see somebody being promoted to supervisor, the person's character and attitude change towards you. Why? Because he's feeling now superior more than you. And being that you know the person before, sometimes what is inside of you will say, you can never respect the person, he or she. Whenever the person came to give instruction, when he goes, he said, I'm minor. Because he got supervisor. And you get what I'm saying? Let me say this to you. Mordecai know that it's not about Haman. It's about him bowing down to the people that Satan is using to rule over them. Glory to Jesus. So at the time, because of that, the man developed what we call envy over this guy. Because he wasn't greeting him, because of that, his heart became bitter. That's why sometimes in life, the powers and the spirit of our father's house, because we have left the tradition of our father's house, we have left what they practice all this while, then we decided to follow Jesus. They became bitter and envy towards us. Glory to Jesus. They begin to think evil that they will do every day to us. Because the only thing they will be saying that you are stubborn. You don't want to follow traditions. So now they will be planning how to destroy. The same way this guy, because of Mordecai, is now planning not only to destroy one person, but the children of Jewish. The children of God want to be destroyed because this man Satan has promoted him in a place that he can make decisions that will destroy his people. No, the people of God. But you never know that even though the people of God can go into captivity, the eyes of God never withdraw from them. Amen. Glory to Jesus. Amen. I said it, some demons are waiting on our day of mistake. The day that we will make mistake. The day of our weaknesses. But they forget that even though you fall 7 times, you shall rise up again. Amen. So in that day they are waiting for you to make a mistake to fall. They did not understand that God is still counting you as a child. Amen. That you are like a child who starts crawling. You can make mistake and fall, but that doesn't determine that the eyes of God is not upon you. God may allow you to pass some things through, but he cannot allow enemy to destroy you. Amen. Glory to Jesus. Amen. So that is what this man forget. He was seeing these people as people who are sold to this land. He was seeing Mordecai as somebody who is ordinary gate man. He did not know that God appointed Mordecai to that gate for a reason. Glory to Jesus. Somebody may see you the day that you never have paper. You are doing some job that is dirty. They will say, look at what he's doing. I can't even do that. They don't know that it's a reason God kept you there. That is what God wants to bring for you. But he's waiting for appointed time. Amen. So that's why this man, Satan started using him against these people. He even went to make a decree. At the end of verse 11 said, he went to pay money. He said to the king, the silver is given to you, the people also, to do as he please you. Verse 9 said, it is pleased the king, then let it be written that they be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hand of those who will carry out the king's business and bring it unto the king's treasure. This man determined. Sometimes you don't know how far, how powerful Satan can go, how tough Satan can go in order for him to destroy his soul. I said that the spirit of Haman is a spirit that terrorism. Because they can take because of one person to destroy entire organization. So he said, I will pay. The same way terrorists, somebody can pay a terrorist a money in order for him to go and bomb airport, in order for many people to die because of what? The person have developed envy against that nation. Maybe the president of the nation. You will take because of that president of the nation to destroy entire people that they haven't done anything. Glory to Jesus. So you can understand these things, how he goes. He said, I will pay money. Then to the people who are going to carry out the job. That's why you can see sometimes you watch news in America. Somebody became angry because he left the school. Maybe the school, one teacher provoked him, he left the school. He became angry and come back again and used gun to kill almost how many people. Because of what one person did. That's why it is the same way it is in our own family, because of what one person did, our ancestors or somebody or auntie or uncle did or cousin that did. Then Satan, that spirit can want to destroy the entire family because of that covenant. But he doesn't know that we are not going to pay with our blood. Our head cannot pay for what we did not do. Glory to Jesus. So he determined for him to pay 10,000 silvers. I say to people, let me say this to you. Sometimes Satan makes some sacrifice. Highest sacrifice. But what pains me that sometimes children of God doesn't go extra mile for their deliverance. They don't go extra mile. They don't make sacrifice. They always want it to come on a platter of gold. But Satan can go extra mile in order for him to destroy. Remember, he who sacrificed more in the spiritual realm conquered more. Amen. Glory to Jesus. Hallelujah. You know, sometimes I keep saying it. In my language, somebody will say, no, it's not my portion. I don't always say this thing. It's by mouth. If Mordecai is saying it's not my portion by mouth, Haman has already planned to pay 10,000 silvers. So Mordecai will say, it's not my portion. I reject it. You can reject by mouth, but there is no sacrifice. Glory to Jesus. You see, sacrifice answers sacrifice. When he came to God, Satan understood the children of God more than we understood, ourselves. You know why? He was in heaven. when you were created. He was in heaven when the plan of the earth was made. He knows man more than he knows the intention of God concerning man. Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
So that's why sometimes I look at it and say, if we only that we can understand our opponent, life can be easy for us. It's very easy for us to defeat our opponent if we understood him. Because we can know how to stop him with his strategy. Glory to Jesus.
Amen.
So we're going to see again where this man Mordecai, because of what this guy did, but he never knew when he was plotting these things. Mordecai himself, God appointed him for the deliverance of the children of Israel. Amen. He never know there is a reason. There is a reason he put that man there, and there is a reason that the girl that this man trained, being Esther, was taken as a maid in the palace. Look at how many children of Jews that scattered all over the places, but they choose Mordecai to be at the gate. They choose Esther to be what? To be in the palace. So sometimes I say this to people, that all things work out for good for those that believe in him. That's why I say opposite of good, opposite of bad is good. In the eyes of people, it look bad, like me, Mordecai, can work with man. So that's why sometimes when God wants to bring good out of our life, he will first demote us in order to promote us. He will first allow Satan sometimes to demote us. But Satan did not demote us. He's working out our promotion. Because there is no chance in that position, that moment. He has to allow Satan to do his work first. Then in order for him to work out his way and bring you to the place. Glory to Jesus. Amen. But sometimes, because man sometimes is full of pride. You know, we're full of ourselves. Me, doing this kind of a thing. No. Me, I can't do it all. Hey, I'm a child of God. No, you begin to claim a child of God, but you forget that God works with process. You forget what the Bible says. All things work out for good. Then your shoulder begin to raise. You don't want to go down first before you can go up. Glory to Jesus. So we begin to feel too much of superior. Some people will be saying, I'm a royal priesthood. Yes, you are a royal priesthood. But Mordecai was a royal priesthood. But he finds himself as a great man for a season. Amen. You can be a great man in a season. The other one, you became a waka. Glory to Jesus. Amen. You know, I have found something in this journey of life. I noticed one thing. I find that sometimes we hinder ourselves. Glory to Jesus. Amen. We're going to see this Mordecai in book of Esther 4, from verse 1 to 14. Charlie, if you can go with us, please go with us quick. Because tonight we will have time to deal with the spirit of Haman. Because that spirit that wants you to be able to destroy many people because of what one person did shall be arrested tonight. Amen. And whatever is the plot, because it's the spirit that plot. You see, terrorists, they take time to plot attack. They go extra mile because they want to execute and get it right. But Satan tonight, he will get it wrong. Amen. Glory to Jesus. Amen. He will get it wrong because we and our family and our children, we are not going to pay the price. Amen. Because we have been purchased by the blood of Jesus. Amen. Let's see something here. Children, please, Esther 4, 1 to 14, because of our time, we can be able to be fast, please.
When Mordecai perceived all that was done, Mordecai rent his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes, and went out into the midst of the city, and cried with a loud and a bitter cry, and came even before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. And in every province, whithersoever the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Jews.
Just hold on there. What did you hear? You see, as soon as Mordecai see what Satan want to do, Mordecai said, no, I can't take it. That's why I say it's only people who are determined to go extra mile, who will say they cannot take it. Amen. They are the one God will deliver. He did not fold his hand. They say, what concerns me? After all, it's not my problem. But the Bible says he went into the city, he rented his clothes. He said, what am I wearing? Even though I'm wearing gold, let me tear it, let me pour myself down. He said he cried unto what? Go to verse 1. Look at what he did. And Mordecai perceived all that was done. And Mordecai rented his clothes, put on sackcloth. Said, no, this is not time for me to be able to be enjoying. If you are bringing breakfast for me, dinner, no. Even though I'm eating chicken, turkey from king, no, keep it aside, I don't need it. This is time for, this is a danger time. Because it's between life and death. Then what happened? He said with ashes, he went on into the midst of the city. He cried with a loud voice and bitter. You see how a strong man is trying to go for deliverance. He cried with a loud voice and bitter. But some Christians are sleeping in their house, thinking that God, they put up their Facebook, they wrote, God, are you there? Somebody say something, they type and say, somebody say, type it, share it to your friend. All of them type and say, amen. How many amen have you been saying? What manifest? Because we have to tell ourselves, who preach on Facebook? But I have to tell you the truth. And you get what I'm saying now? It's better that we say to each other the truth. Because here, we are not trying to please you to keep you from nothing. Because we are trying for something to come out of you. That's why you came to Jesus. If something that good will come out of you, people will glorify the name of Jesus. But now, we are making the name of Jesus to be in vain. And you get what I'm saying now? See, I said it, prophetic ministry is not in entertainment. It's in deliverance. Because the Bible says with true prophet he delivered them. Yes. So Mordecai was appointed as a prophet for his people. He cried with a loud voice. Then he said, in every province, and what? So go to battle, go to keep. And the king commanded, and the king came, was great mourning among the Jews, and fasting, weeping. Look at what, and wailing. And many lay down in sackcloth and ashes. Now they are crying, they want God. Because somebody have gone extra mile. So if they don't have gold to sow, if they don't have anything to, their stomach have to go. Are you get what I'm saying? Their tears have to pour out. If they don't have 10,000 silver, then you have your nails. You know the house of the Lord. You know where you can get your deliverance. You make effort. You stay in the place of your deliverance so that God will answer you. Amen. You may not have money to pay. I used to listen to one song in my language. We're going to finish this prayer. The woman was saying, God, I don't have money to go to hospital. I don't have money to go to hospital. The only thing I have is my 2 knees and my 2 hands. That if only I can kneel down with my 2 knees and lift up my hands to you, then you can solve that issue for me. It's a song. So that means the woman who sang it understood that she may not have money to go to hospital. But there is what wait for him, for she to connect to the healer with the 2 knees. If the knees can be paying her, where she's kneeling down crying to the healer, that will be her money that she's paying for her healing. Amen. Glory to Jesus. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So you have to understand it that way, that this is what this man did. If this man has paid 10,000 silver, we are not going to fold our hand and allow this man what he has paid to destroy us. We know that our tears worth more than 10,000 silvers. Yes. We know that our stomach, when we empty it and ask God to intervene, then God will intervene. Amen. And everybody say, we are not going to eat because we need something from the Lord. Yes. We are not going to sleep because we need something from the Lord. Amen. Remember, Bible says he went to the city because he went to the place all of them gathered to seek the Lord. Glory to Jesus. Amen. So let's finish it and see something here. We're going to see something. Because I want us to pray with understanding tonight.
So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent Raymond to clothe Mordecai, and to take away his sackcloth from him, but he received it not. Then called Esther for Hatak, one of the king's chamberlains, whom he had appointed to attend upon her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai, to know what it was and why it was.
That's what it, because, you see, can someone open this window for me? Even Esther in herself, who was a queen, said, you know what happened? Just said, go, he said one of the son, he said, go to Mordecai. Just please let him remove this thing because something is going on. But Mordecai said, no, except I got deliverance. I will never let you go unless you bless me. I will never let you go unless you bless me. That is Jacob for you. Jacob, when he heard the angel, he said to the angel, you know, this is my time of blessing. He said, this one you came to my territory, I will never let you go. Bible said Jacob hold the angel tight. There was fighting going on. Until the angel asked him, what is your name? He said, my name is Jacob. He said, no, your name is going to change to Israel. Yes. I will never let you go. But some people, when they say to them, okay, remove this shackle, I will remove it. And he said, they'll just immediately. But this man said, you know what happened? No. It's not about me removing this thing. It's about deliverance. It's about what will happen. What are we going to achieve? Tell me, if I remove it, have God answered me? No. That's why you should hold God until He answered you. You should be with Him. You should commit yourself in Him until you bring you to the place of promised land. Glory to Jesus. Because I said the promised land is a journey. He said to the children of Israel, I will bring you to the land of milk and honey. It didn't come in a platter of gold. Some of them could not wait. They could not pass something through. When they call for fasting, they always look for onions and the cucumber they eat in Egypt. There was anything, Moses, why do you brought us here? For us to perish of hunger. So tell me, they dwell in food, but they forget what Bible says. Man shall not live by the food, by bread alone, but by every word of God. They forget what God said to them. They begin to fight for cucumber. But God said, I will bring you to the land of milk and honey. You know, you forget it. You have to just listen with you. With how can it be that way? Glory to Jesus. Keep going, challenge because of our time.
So Hatak went forth to Mordecai unto the street of the city, which was before the king's gate. And Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the sum of the money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasuries for the Jews, to destroy them. Also he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given in Shushan to destroy them, to show it unto Esther, and to declare it unto her, and to charge her that she should go in unto the king, to make supplication unto him, and to make request before him for her people. And Hatak came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Again Esther spake unto Hatak, and gave him commandment unto Mordecai. All the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces do know that whosoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his, to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days. And they told to Mordecai Esther's words. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, Think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Jews. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall there be enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed, and who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this.
Glory to Jesus.
Amen.
This is where I like most. What Mordecai was asking Esther to do, that is a stumbling block. So that means before you can get to the promised land, you must cross the River Jordan. Amen. There is always a River Jordan before you can get to your promised land. Amen. So it's up to you. Because when Esther was saying to Mordecai, have you forget there is a law that guided this kingdom? What is that law? That if you go to king and you are not called in, you must be surely put to death. But look at what Mordecai said to Esther in 14. He said, No, go to verse 13, you know. Go to verse 13 because we're going to. And Mordecai answered and said to Esther, take not with thyself that thou shalt escape in king's house more than all. Let's go to 12 and we're getting something here. You know, all together hold thy peace, you know, and look at what he said. He said, but thou and thy family and thy father's house. He said, look at what he said. He said, then shall their enlargement and deliverance arise to the Jews from another source. He was letting us know, see, that God has appointed you for deliverance. God sent you to this palace for deliverance. So stop giving us excuse and rise up and fight that battle for all of us to be delivered. He said, that's why I train you in the ways of the Lord. That's why you are hearing the word of the Lord. In order in the days of trouble for you to rise up without excuse, to know there is always a river Jordan before the promised land. Amen. So there will be always a stumbling block, but you are the one who can break through that stumbling block. Amen. He said, if you do not do it, there will be deliverance from another place. But you and your family, Satan will destroy you. The next I went and think about this word and said, no. This man have told me the truth of my life. Because he didn't pet me. Because I was a queen and maybe I'm giving him his more portion of food. Maybe I pack some things at the back and give to him. He said, no. He said, this is the truth. And let's see from verse 15. From verse 15 of that to 17. Let's see what Esther said. And Esther abided and returned. And Esther abided and returned, Mordecai to this answer. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. He said, go gather all the Jews that are present in Susa and fast for me. Neither eat or drink 3 days and night. He said, or night. That I also and my men will fast likewise, so that I will go in unto the king, which is not according to the law. If I perish, may I perish. Until we came to speak this language. That what matters to me now is about me rising up and defeat the powers of my father's house. So money doesn't matter to me. But now Esther was not thinking about her position now. I said, wait. Her gold and silver they used to put upon her. She said, I don't mind about it anymore. He said, if you can be able to fast for me, because the only thing I need, if you people can lift up your voice in prayer, that we can be in agreement in spirit, we'll know that God will move. Amen. He said, if I perish, then let me go. And we know another people who speak that language, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, in the land of Babylon. They said to the king, we are not going to bow down to your image. He said, we know that our God will deliver us. Even though he chooses not to deliver us, we are not going to bow down to this image. Amen. You see that word, if I perish, let me perish. Our God is able, abundantly able, to deliver and to save. To deliver, our God is able, abundantly able, to deliver those who trust in him. So he's able and abundantly able. So far as you trust in him, God knows that those who trust in him will not perish. But they shall be like Mountain Zion, that nobody can move them at their position, but they will abide forever. Amen. Esther said, if I perish, let me perish. But you know that God will not allow them to perish. Amen. Until you came to the place of you cannot take this nonsense anymore. One preacher titled his message, "This nonsense must stop." Amen. When I hear it, I wanted to hear more. And I find out he was talking sense. Amen. He said, this nonsense must stop. Amen. That is the title of his message. And I get interested when I say, what nonsense? I find out the man, there is nonsense the man wanted to stop. Because the power of Satan is nonsense. I am tired of being in that position. I am tired of being a failure. I am tired of being in lack. I am tired of being in poverty. I have to rise up. That nonsense must stop. That is it. If you are not tired, Esther said, you know what happened? This deliverance is not only now. No, what am I getting here? People are calling me queen. And there is no deliverance in my father's house. No way. I just get a position. But my people want to be perished. No. I am sick and tired. If I perish, let me perish. What matters that I need God now? So I don't want anything anymore. But apart from God. And they fasted for him, for her. Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
You see, all this while, enemy is thinking, Haman is thinking that he has upper hand. So all this while you are passing this thing through, you are being in the house of the Lord, seeking the Lord, saying to Satan, you are tired. That powers will be thinking they have upper hand. No. God is about to bring deliverance.
Amen.
When he brings deliverance, you know one thing I like about our God? Nobody can battle with our God. When it's appointed time, no matter what is the stumbling block, no matter what is the battle, you are going to walk it through. You will cross it because he said if you pass through water, it cannot overflow you.
Amen.
When it's appointed time, nobody will stop you.
Amen.
But you have to play your part in order for him to play his part.
Amen.
Because every movie, they call you in a movie, there is always a part for you to play. Before the main actor can play his own part. So when you play your own, you are behind the scene now. Then the main actor will take over.
Amen.
Because he's the main actor.
Yes.
So when he's on the front, he never die.
Amen.
I never seen any movie that I watch that the main actor die. Upon you can see the whole bump, everything coming out. You thought that he's dead. He came out with all this injury, wounded, and still carry his gun to be shooting. That is Jesus for you.
Hallelujah.
Jesus never died in a battle.
Amen.
He's the main actor.
Amen.
So when we play our part, the movie they cut us a little bit. It's not that people are not seeing us, but we are behind the scene. Our actor is there. He's working out things for us.
Amen.
When the war ended, everybody came to hug the actor. That is when the war ended, we are now coming out. People, oh, he's still alive. So they did not kill him. They did not kill her. He said, yes, I was still there.
Amen.
But I was behind the scene.
Amen.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
So you have to understand, I like this thing for one thing. Then look at how Esther, another thing that I said to people, sometimes when we finish praying, we got to know how to approach a situation. Because every situation has different approach. Esther has fasted. He has called for fasting. But now he left for her to face the king. Because Esther has to learn the tone, the voice, the step, the way, the style that he can use to draw king attention. Remember, when somebody go in and is not God, the person will be perished. Glory to Jesus. Amen. So sometimes as a child of God, you have done everything, but you don't know how to carry yourself as a child of God. Sometimes as a child of God, you have finished fasting and everything, but you don't know how to talk. Sometimes as a child of God, you have done everything that you know, but you don't know how to be able to put on things that will be able to attract king to you. Esther know these things are very important. Glory to Jesus. Amen. And Esther has to go and select a good dress, knowing that this is a crucial moment, a special occasion, that she doesn't need to go there with anyhow. Because king have to look and say, my God. Let's see in verse chapter 5, from verse 1 to 8. Glory to Jesus. You know, word of God is true. You know, we have to tell people these things for them to know. Because sometimes we capitalize on prayer and everything. When we finish, we use our language to spoil our blessing. We say, because I pray, I'm a child of God. No. You don't use stubborn attitude to approach some certain things. Because the number one thing, stubborn is like as a spirit of witchcraft to God. Glory to Jesus. Esther chapter 5, Elder, from verse 1 to 8.
Now it came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house.
What did she put? Her lawyer. That is something that is elegant, something that is beautiful, something that is attractive. So she went to her wardrobe and select, because she know this occasion, this moment of deliverance is very important. We have asked for deliverance, but now it's left for me to make a move. That is where some Christians fail. When we freeze praying for a job, when we want to make a move for a job, we can't put ourselves in order. We'll go there, we want to answer anything anyhow. And when they did not give it to us, he said, I don't know what happened. But God has set a platform for you. Are you getting what I'm saying? If people of the world will know that going for interview, they need to find, you see them going to buy a new dress. You see somebody who never talked in before, will find a way to tuck his trousers in, put belt. Why is he doing that? He wants favor from the person who is doing interview. If they have that understanding, can't you get it in your mind? There is a way that we approach blessings. There is a way that we can approach the final touch of our miracle. She went and said, I'm not going to be anyhow, because we have many queens here. Who they wake up in the morning, their job is for them to know how to look and attract the king, so that king will come to them in the night. He said, there is competition here. I'm not going to be left out. I'm going to key in. Then she queued in. She go to her wardrobe and look at Gucci. He said, Gucci cannot fit. Look at Dolce & Gabbana, he said it cannot fit. Look at Valentino, he said it cannot fit. Look at Mark and Spencer, he said it cannot fit. Then he came to Hugo Boss and said, that is what we are talking about. And you get what I'm saying now? You got to know these things. Glory to Jesus.
Amen.
And I finish it up for us because of our time.
And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the gate of the house. And it was so, when the king saw Esther, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight.
My God.
And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter. Then the king said unto her, What wilt thou, Queen Esther, and what is thy request? It shall be even given thee to half of the kingdom. And Esther answered, If it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him. Then the king said, Cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther hath said. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, What is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? Even to half of the kingdom it shall be performed. Then answered Esther and said, My petition and my request is, if I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them, and I will do tomorrow as the king hath said. Amen.
Glory to Jesus. So it's one of the things I say here. When you came to that approach, it's very, very important. Glory to Jesus. Even when you have fasted and do everything, God gives you a miracle. In the place of your miracle, watch out the way you talk. Watch out the way you behave. Because it's that way you can be able to obtain favor from God. Because when God says, I will favor you, we always use a man. So immediately the king saw Esther with the attire. With Hugo Boss, he said, my God, Esther, oh, this is what I have in this kingdom. King, forget about the law. Because Esther's appearance was glorious. Amen. Every child of God have a glorious appearance. Amen. But you have to put something that matches the glorious appearance in order to make it physical. Glory to Jesus. But you see, the children of God who want to be backo. We are not backo. I say we are not backo. That means anyhow. We want to approach everything anyhow. Glory to Jesus. Even when God connects you to your husband, you go there and speak everything anyhow. The man will say, which kind of woman is this? This one. I'm not, hey, I'm running away from A. I'm going to be in B. No way. Look at the way she's talking. And she says she's a child of God. Hey. He said, if this way people are children, I will stop going to church. But indeed, the sister can be a child of God or the brother. But he never trained himself how to communicate. Amen. Glory to Jesus. Hallelujah. You know, it's not every man of God will let you know these things. Are you getting what I'm saying now? I said it here. You can see somebody who is not beautiful in the way, but inside is beautiful. And they will attract to somebody who is the most beautiful person. Why? The person may not be beautiful outside, but the word is seasoned with grace. Amen. Glory to Jesus. Hallelujah. But sometimes some people, when who are in a place, you want to show them that you know how to speak. But the person will say, lady, okay, when he go, he will off his phone. He will never pick his phone again. I don't know what happened. He doesn't pick my call anymore. This and this. You know what happened. He must know. If you want, I will tell you. Your language. Your behavior. Your attire. Everything is wrong. I will tell you what happened. That is the truth of what happened. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So there is a way we approach issues, even though we have prayed, we have fasted, we have to have wisdom to grab our blessing. Amen. God said, if any man lack wisdom, let him ask from God. He said, let him ask from above. He's the one who giveth wisdom. Amen. Use your wisdom. Yes. Esther has finished fasting, do everything. Now it's left for her to use wisdom. And wisdom is God-given blessing for every man. It's God-given knowledge. We cannot throw it away. Glory to Jesus. Hallelujah. Sometimes you see some guys, I used to see them, You see them when they're in boardroom. That is the way they dress. You see, look, you have to know these things. He may not be rich up to that level of people, but his appearance can connect him in that boardroom to a business that will fetch him more money. The way he's talking can make you think that this guy owns the entire world, but he never owned that kind of business. You can give him a trial. Glory to Jesus. But you see somebody who have fasted and prayed. Sometimes, most of the times, in Africa, prayer warriors, they lack wisdom. You know why they lack wisdom? They think prayer can bring that miracle pour to your house. You finish praying, that is what wisdom does. Amen. You see them finish praying, but they lack wisdom, how to walk in the ways of God, to be able to grab it. You see somebody coming from by the side and snatch your blessing. You say, I said it. Satan, I said it. Satan is your... No. Satan did not use anybody. You are the one who lack wisdom, how to grab it. So somebody who is by the side, who is smarter than you, have to grab it. Do you know that every position God created, God doesn't take it back? When you don't know how to enter it, another person will enter it. That is where God does. He will not take the position back. It's like calling. When God announced calling in a family, if I did not fulfill my calling, that calling can be for my grandchildren. This calling. He will not take it back. He will look at somebody who is willing and obedient to give back the calling. Glory to Jesus. So I want you to understand these things. Immediately the king saw her. He said, Esther, just tell me what is thy request. Esther, you look troubled. Because Esther has to put that kind of, that kind of way. And when king, he started getting attention of the king, her face began to change a little bit. Because the king's heart was already there. He said, king said, my queen, what is that? I don't want you to trouble. Because he had already drawn the king into her heart. The king said, oh my, what is going on, my queen? Can you tell me who offended you? Can you tell me is there anybody in this kingdom? He said, no, king, if I could find favor, not that somebody offend me, but king, if maybe she's doing her nail. King, if I could find favor in your sight. He wasn't looking even to king. He was doing the nail. King, if I could find favor in yours. The king said, no, it's talk to me, just talk to me. He said, no, king, it's not that anybody offend me. But if I could be just for a favor, okay, please. The king said, you have got it. Consider it done. Glory to Jesus. So what am I trying to say? Is that in order for us to defeat Satan, we'll fast and pray. But there is a way we can approach issues. Glory to Jesus. So that we can get Satan from the root. Satan always operates with strategy. We also have to have a strategy.
Amen.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
If we don't have it, God doesn't work with anybody who doesn't have strategies. Glory to Jesus. God said to me, I have called you. I'm the one who have to have strategies how his ministry will work. The kind of ministry we want. Glory to Jesus.
Amen.
That's why at the time people say, oh, prophet, you always spend. I say, why did I spend time? Because I want souls to be delivered. We are not here in order for us to play church like other people. When you come, before you know it, can we receive our tithe and offering? We are not here for the tithe and offering. We are here for souls. We are here for deliverance of people. We are here for people to come out of darkness to light and serve the true living God. Because if we're here, just for what would it profit us if we get all that money? Where are we going with it? We are still going to leave it here and go. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So if I don't stand on what God has called us and stand on the truth, to preach the truth, nobody will be here today. Maybe tomorrow people will know, hey, they are here for the form. No. That's why here, in this altar, if anybody drop his seed here, you always receive immediately. Why? Because truth has to be come out from here. It's the only truth that set you free and set me free. Amen. That is the only thing. If I go, I sleep well. Glory to Jesus. Because I know the truth has come out. And God has delivered his people. Then the other one left for you to play your part. Amen. Glory to Jesus. Hallelujah. So, but there is an end for every Haman. There is an end for every situation. Amen. There is always an end for every spirit. Remember the man who was having legions. When Jesus met this man, remember the man was having thousands of demons. But there is always end for Satan. Amen. Because in heaven, there is an end for Satan in heaven. Amen. So immediately Jesus saw the man. Then the spirit asked, Jesus, what have I got to do with you, the Son of the living God? Jesus said to the demon, today your end has come. Amen. Then come out of him and trouble him no more. Amen. Then now begin to negotiate. So say, let us go through this. That is when I know water. That day, the demon that entered water never left water since there. Glory to Jesus. So we are going to see the end for Haman in Esther 7 from verse 1 to 10. Because when we talk about Absalom, there is an end for spirit of Absalom. There is an end for Ahithophel. There is an end for Judas. 7 from verse 1 to 10. Challenge, please.
So the king and Haman came to banquet with Esther the queen. And the king said again unto Esther on the second day at the banquet of wine, What is thy petition, Queen Esther? And it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? And it shall be performed, even to half of the kingdom. Then Esther the queen answered and said, If I find favour in thy sight, O king, and if it please the king, let my life be given me at my petition, and my people at my request. For we are sold, I and my people, to be destroyed, to be slain, and to perish. But if we had been sold for bondmen and bondwomen, I had held my tongue, although the enemy could not countervail the king's damage. Then the king Ahasuerus answered and said unto Esther the queen, Who is he, and where is he that durst presume in his heart to do so? And Esther said, The adversary and enemy is the wicked Haman. Then Haman was afraid before the king and the queen.
That's what they did. You see, this is the time that Esther got they had to call Haman wicked. Because he have get the heart of the king. Esther have cornered the king with her way after fasting and prayer. So he has cornered the king, and now king is in what? Is to take my God, I can't do anything until you tell me what is your petition. Can I say this thing to you? I will say it to you, okay? There is a proverb of people used to say, and I know, yes, again, please don't hate me, okay? You know what our people used to say? Character is a beauty of a woman. Not only a woman, but a man also. You see, when you talk about beauty of a woman, the way Esther approached this king with her character, he always said, if I find favor in your sight, king, if I could be able to find this favor, he first draw them to banquet. He first asked for banquet to draw Haman in. And Haman went home to be telling everybody, his wife, his household, that tomorrow I'm going to have banquet with king. Look, I can't benefit. Do you know that he never know that Esther strategy he has strategy against them all. He has paid money, but he never know that this woman is working with wisdom of God in order to draw him to the place of destruction. Amen. Then once Esther brought her in and still put up that faith when they are eating, maybe she's not eating. She have already cooked better food, what king like, but she keeps turning the soup, turning the rice. King said, can you tell us what is your petition, please? He said, Esther said, thy adversaries and the enemy. This is the wicked word, because he said, we have sold, me and my people have sold to the enemy. Then he said, if it is not enemy outside, then I can hold my peace. But he said, then king asked, who is that person? He said, this is the word. This is the wicked Haman. The Haman was afraid. Then the Bible said the Haman was afraid before the king and queen. So now, all the powers of Satan has brought down. Amen. There is what you can do to Satan. You bring all his power down under 1 second. Amen. Glory to Jesus. Hallelujah. All his plot, whatever he's planning, with that 10,000 silver he has paid, came to be brought down under one day. Amen. Because they have seeked the Lord, they have prayed, they apply wisdom. Finish it off, because we are praying now. We are praying. Our brother, just finish it off. You can. No, but we are going to pray now.
Then the king returned out of the palace garden unto the place of the banquet of wine, and Haman was fallen upon the bed wherein Esther was. And said the king, will he force the queen also before me in the house? As the word went out of the king's mouth, he covered Haman's face. And Harbonah, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, behold also the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai. He had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, hang him thereon. So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified.
Glory to Jesus. You see what the Bible said? If that diggeth a pit shall fall inside it. So whatever the enemy has plotted against you, they shall be a victim for that. Amen. You see how Esther brought Mordecai back to what he plotted against the children of Israel. And finally what happened? When he brought Mordecai to that place, immediately that thing that the Mordecai plot bounced back on him. That's why whenever sometimes we are praying, we say, let the plan and plot of the enemy, let them backfire and bounce back on them. Because whatever they plot against us, they will carry it with their own head. Amen. Glory to Jesus. Hallelujah. We're going to pray. Because I want you to know that this spirit of Haman, I said it before, is a spirit of destructive. It's a destructive spirit. He can destroy many people because of one person. Then the spirit of Haman is a spirit of mass murder. You know, mass shooting and terrorism. Because he doesn't come to destroy only one person. He came that he can destroy the whole Jewish. But he never know that God is able, abundantly able, to deliver those that trust in him. Amen. That's why I said to you, it doesn't matter what enemy have right about you. What matters tonight is what Jesus wants to do in your life. Because you have cried unto him and you are waiting for him for deliverance. He's here tonight. He will deliver you. Not only you, your children, your family shall be delivered from every spirit of Haman. That whosoever that represents Haman in your life and in your family, they shall be hanged tonight. Because the power of Jesus will locate them. And they will be hanged in that which they plotted for you. I want you to stand up on your feet.
There is none like you. No one else can touch my heart like you do. I can search for all eternity, Lord, and find there is none like you. There is none like you. No one else can touch my heart like you do. I can search for all eternity, Lord, and find there is none like you. There is none like you. No one else can touch my heart. No one else can touch my heart like you do. I can search for all eternity, Lord, and find there is none like you. There is none like you. There is none like you. No one else can touch my heart. No one else can touch my heart like you do. I can search for all eternity, Lord, and find there is none like you. There is none like you. No one else can touch my heart. No one else can touch my heart like you do. I can search for all eternity, Lord, and find there is none like you. I can search for all eternity, Lord, and find there is none like you. I can search for all eternity, Lord, and find there is none like you.
Who can search for the whole eternity? And there is no one like him. No matter what happened tonight, he's still going to be our Savior. And he's going to move the mountain tonight. See? He can go there. Come on, let us sing into it.
He Shine your light now, let the whole world see. For the glory of the risen King. Jesus, shine your light now, let the whole world see. Let's sing it. For the glory of the risen King. Shine your light now, let the whole world see. We sing it. For the glory of the risen King. Jesus, shine your light now, let the whole world see. We sing it. For the glory of the risen King. Savior, He can move the mountain.
My God is
Mighty to
Come on.
save. He is mighty to save. Forever, O God of salvation. He rose and conquered that grave. Jesus conquered that grave. Savior, He can move the mountain. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, O God of salvation. He rose and conquered that grave. Jesus conquered that grave. He rose and conquered that grave. Jesus conquered that grave. He rose and conquered that grave. Jesus conquered that grave. He rose and conquered that grave. Jesus conquered that grave. He rose and conquered that grave. Jesus conquered that grave. Conquered that grave. Jesus conquered that grave. Lift up your hands unto God. Say, Father,
Father,
I lift my hands unto you.
I lift my hands unto you.
Jesus,
Jesus,
you are the savior of my life.
you are the savior of my life.
You are the savior of my family.
You are the savior of my family.
Lord Jesus,
Lord Jesus,
I surrender everything unto you.
I surrender everything unto you.
Father, we pray tonight.
Father, we pray tonight.
By your spirit,
By your spirit,
release your power
release your power
and your anointing
and your anointing
upon my life
upon my life
to deal with the spirit of Haman.
to deal with the spirit of Haman.
That anointing,
That anointing,
that power
that power
that Esther received
that Esther received
after she has prayed
after she has prayed
and she went in
and she went in
and her request,
and her request,
her petition
her petition
was granted unto her.
was granted unto her.
Lord Jesus,
Lord,
tonight,
Lord Jesus, tonight,
by your power,
by your power,
I need that anointing.
I need that anointing.
I need that power.
I need that power.
And I stand upon the power
And I stand upon the power
that raised Jesus from death.
that raised Jesus from death.
I stand upon the power
I stand upon the power
of Holy Ghost.
of Holy
I
Ghost.
stand upon the power
I stand upon the power
that is in the blood of Jesus.
that is in the blood of Jesus.
I come against
I come against
every Haman spirit
every Haman spirit
in my family
in my family
where I came from.
where I come from.
Every Haman spirit
Every Haman spirit
that is planning destruction
that is planning destruction
against me and my family members.
against me and my family members.
Tonight,
Tonight,
I come against you.
I come against you.
Your time is up.
Your time is up.
Therefore, I locate you
Therefore, I locate you
by the anointing of the Holy Ghost.
by the anointing of the Holy Ghost.
I command
I command
you that Haman,
you that Haman,
you that Haman spirit,
you that Haman spirit,
and your stronghold
and your stronghold
to hear the word of the Lord.
to hear the word of the Lord.
As I clap my hands
As I clap my hands
in prayer,
in prayer,
I release fire
I release fire
destruction
of destruction
to destroy
to destroy
you that spirit
you that spirit.
right now.
Right now,
I release fire.
I release fire.
I release fire
I release fire
of Holy Ghost
of Holy
to
Ghost
fire
Let the fire
of Holy
of Holy
Ghost
Ghost
be destroyed
be destroyed
by the anointing,
by the
by
anointing.
the fire
Let the
of
fire
Holy Ghost
of Holy
be
Ghost
destroyed
be destroyed
right now.
right now.
Be destroyed.
Be destroyed.
Be destroyed.
Be destroyed.
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 In the name
In the name
of Jesus.
of Jesus.
You know one thing I know? When in a prayer like this, a woman, she's from Mauritius. When we are praying, I said to her, there is a spirit from your mother's house that trouble your life. And that spirit will make you to lose many things. When we are praying, the power of God come upon her. Not only her was delivered, but her son in Mauritius began to manifest.
Amen.
The following day, the son called the mom and said, you know what happened? I wake up, I don't know what was happening to me. I fall from the bed. I was talking, I don't know what I was talking. The mom asked, what time is that? Then the son said, so time. He said, the mom knows what happened. Because she was getting deliverance. Her son was getting deliverance.
Hallelujah.
We're not just praying here, but we are praying for our family.
Yes.
That's why this season, somebody that is not supposed to visit, I wish that you are going to be here this week all night. Because we know that by the grace of God, you are going to be here.
Amen.
This week all night. You walk to shift Friday. What time you finish? God will give you strength.
Hallelujah.
You know, one thing I'm saying, when we are praying a prayer like this, you need to pray it.
Amen.
Because many people, you see some powers of darkness, they hate this ministry because they say this ministry is destroying what they are doing back home.
Amen.
My father and the Lord called me and said, son, I was praying for you. Somebody who was occultic in your family he was angry, saying your altar is destroying everything they have brought in the family. I said, I know the altar that we have here. So it's destroying everything that enemy plan against your family.
Amen.
That's why you are standing in the gap for your family.
Amen.
Lift up your hands. Say, Father,
Father,
I lift my hands unto you.
I lift my hands unto you.
I receive power.
I receive power.
I receive anointing.
I receive anointing.
I receive the fire
I receive the fire
of Holy Ghost.
of Holy
And
Ghost.
I stand upon the power
I stand upon the power
that is in the name of Jesus.
that is in the name of
I
Jesus.
stand upon the power
I stand upon the power
that is in the blood of Jesus.
that is in the blood of Jesus.
I stand upon the power
I stand upon the power
of Holy Ghost.
of Holy Ghost.
I come against
I come against
every wicked Haman
every wicked Haman
against my life,
against my life,
against my family,
against my family,
or my children.
or my children.
Anyone that represents wicked Haman
Anyone that represents wicked Haman
against us.
against us.
Lord, as I clap my hands
Lord, as I clap my hands
prayer,
in prayer,
let your fire
let your
of
fire
destruction
of destruction
protect them
locate them
right now.
right now.
Their powers
Their powers
destroyed
be destroyed
by fire.
by fire.
Haman
Let Haman
destroyed
be destroyed by fire. 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 Be destroyed by
I always say it whenever we gather here, it's for a purpose.
Amen.
That's why we're not in the ministry to play church.
No.
You see, I cherish every moment people spend here because I want something to come out of it.
Amen.
I cannot go what I went through for this ministry for nothing. I know what I went through. I know the attack I received. So it's not going to be for nothing.
Amen.
That's why I determine if I perish, let me perish. Or people has to be delivered.
Amen.
Souls has to be set free.
Amen.
Satan has to be defeated.
Amen.
Because he's somebody who stood up as a deliverer.
Yes.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
That's why God brings you to the divine power of Christ deliverance ministry.
Amen.
Where Jesus is the solution.
Amen.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
When God was saying about this ministry, He said, go and read the book of 2 Peter, chapter 1, verse 2, chapter 1, verse 3. He said, according to His divine power in.
Amen.
So that's why we name this ministry divine power of Christ deliverance ministry.
Amen.
Because it's His power that sets people free.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Lift up your hands. Say, Father,
Father,
I lift my hands unto you.
I lift my hands unto you.
I receive power.
I receive power.
I receive anointing.
I receive anointing.
I receive fire.
I receive fire.
I stand upon the power
And I stand upon the power
that is in the name of Jesus.
that is in the name of
I
Jesus.
stand upon the power
I stand upon the power
that is in the blood of Jesus.
that is in the blood of
I
Jesus.
stand upon the power
I stand upon the power
of Holy Ghost.
of Holy Ghost.
I come against
And I come against
every evil plot
every evil plot
of Haman
Haman
against my destiny,
against my destiny,
against my family,
against my family,
against my children.
against my children,
Every evil plot
every evil plot
of Haman,
of Haman,
wicked plot
wicked
of
plot
Haman,
of Haman,
destroying destinies,
to destroy destinies,
marriages,
marriages,
finances,
finances,
jobs,
jobs,
documents
documents,
in my family,
in my
in
family,
the life of my children.
in the life of my children.
are a liar.
You are a
As I
liar.
clap my hands
As I clap my
in
hands
prayer,
in
I
prayer,
destroy
I destroy
that evil plot.
that evil
I
plot.
destroy it
I destroy it
by fire.
by fire.
Right now,
Right now,
I destroy it
I destroy
by
it
anointing.
by
I
anointing.
destroy it
I destroy it
by fire.
by
I
fire.
destroy it
I destroy it
by fire.
by fire.
Right
Right now,
Destroy
be destroyed. Right now,
that evil plot
you that evil plot, be destroyed
by fire.
by fire.
Destroy
Be destroyed
by fire.
by fire.
Destroy
Be destroyed
by fire.
by fire.
In the name
In the name
of Jesus.
of Jesus.
Do you know that God who made your child to be alive today is going to protect this one?
Amen.
It doesn't matter the kind of dream Satan is bringing. It doesn't matter what Satan is putting in your head. What matters is the same God who makes Charlotte, what is his name? Scarlett, to be alive today is going to make this one to be alive.
Thank you, Lord.
Because it was in the womb. They attacked her. But God did not allow it to happen. And it was in the womb. They are talking about this one. But God will silence them.
By fire.
There is never a pregnant woman in this ministry that did not give birth in peace.
Thank you, Lord.
God keep their baby.
Thank you,
On
Jesus.
the day of delivery.
Amen.
So if they are doing a meeting, it doesn't concern us. But tonight, God will visit them.
Amen.
You see, He said, if only that you are willing and obedient,
Amen.
lift up your hands. Say, Father,
Father,
I lift my hands unto you.
I lift my hands unto you.
I receive power.
I receive power.
I receive fire.
I receive
I
fire.
receive anointing.
I receive
I
anointing.
stand upon the power
I stand upon the power
that raised Jesus from death.
that raised Jesus from the
I
dead.
stand upon the power
I stand upon the power
Holy Ghost.
of Holy
I
Ghost.
stand upon the power
I stand upon the power
that's in the blood of Jesus.
that is in the blood of
As
Jesus.
I clap my hands,
As I clap my hands in
I
prayer,
destroy
I destroy
every satanic meeting
every satanic meeting
that is going on
that is going on
against my life,
against my
my
life,
children,
my children,
family.
my family.
Let that meeting
Let that
be
meeting
destroyed.
be destroyed right now.
Destroy
Be destroyed.
that meeting.
That meeting,
That satanic meeting.
that satanic meeting
Against me.
against
Be
me,
destroyed.
be destroyed
By fire.
by fire. Be destroyed by fire. Be destroyed
By fire! Be destroyed!
By fire!
By fire! Be destroyed!
By fire!
By fire! Be destroyed!
By fire!
By fire!
In the
In the name
name of Jesus.
of Jesus.
A man was holding a meeting without knowing that he's already meeting in heaven.
Amen.
That God is already holding a meeting about deliverance.
Amen.
So he didn't start in time. Because the day God sent them to that place, God has already planned the meeting. There
Amen.
is already decision in heaven.
Hallelujah.
And who has the final say? Jehovah has the
Jehovah.
final say.
Amen.
So that is what Satan doesn't know. That's why Satan hates this. Because he knows that his work always be destroyed by the anointing of Jesus in this place.
Amen.
So whenever Satan plot, Jesus is ahead of him.
Amen.
He said that all things were created through Jesus. Even
Yes.
Satan himself.
Hallelujah.
Because he was once a master, a servant. He was once an angel. So he was created through our master. So now he became a servant. Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
So how can you be greater than your servant, your master?
You can't.
So before his planning, Jesus was already there.
Amen.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
So when he was planning all those things, he never knew that it's already victory.
Amen.
I like this song that I always like to sing on my own. He said, power from above. That is power from above. Power from above. That is power from above. Yes, I know, I believe. That is power from above. Yes, I know, I believe. That is power from above. I know it, and I believe it. That's why I know that God has mandated us for something.
Amen.
Because I know that the anointing that we have here is from above.
Hallelujah.
So the same way your deliverance is from above.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
And you know it, that is only by Jesus you are going to be delivered.
Amen.
It's from above.
Amen.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
I want you to understand this. So let nothing scare you. We have went through it before. But he said we shall went through fire, but it shall not consume us.
Amen.
That we shall went through water, if we pass through water, it cannot overflow us.
Amen.
It's only the heat that can make you sweat, but fire will not consume you.
Amen.
It's only the heat. When you went through water, your cloth is soaked, but your body is still dry.
Thank you.
Your cloth is going to dry in your body. It's only the soak people are seeing. The body is still the way it is. Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Lift up your hands. Say, Father,
Father,
my blessings,
my blessings,
whosoever
whosoever
that is standing against it,
that is standing against it,
any power
any power
that is standing as River Jordan,
is standing as River Jordan,
any power
any power
that stands as a stumbling block
that stands as a stumbling block
between me and my blessings,
between me and my blessings,
Lord Jesus,
Lord Jesus,
tonight,
tonight,
as I clap my
as
hands
I clap my hands
in prayer,
in prayer,
I destroy it
I destroy it
by fire.
by fire.
I destroy such power
I destroy such power
by fire.
by fire.
I destroy it
I destroy it
by fire.
by fire.
Right now,
Right now,
destroy.
I destroy.
Be destroyed.
Be destroyed.
Be destroyed.
Be
Be
destroyed.
destroyed.
Be destroyed.
Destroyed.
Be destroyed. Be destroyed
By fire.
by fire.
In the name
In the name
of Jesus.
of Jesus.
You know, he want to do what? Make the highest sacrifice. But he forget one thing. That it shall be altar versus altar.
Amen.
So sometimes Satan has an altar But he forget that Jesus had a mother. So when Satan is sacrificing other blood, he forget that Jesus has sacrificed his blood.
Amen.
Because he doesn't know that what Bible say. He forget what Bible said that the blood of Jesus speak better things.
Amen.
He said he speak better things because it's the blood of Jesus. It's the highest paid price.
Yes,
of God.
amen.
So when Haman was doing something, he never know that God has paid the highest price for his people. So therefore tonight, we are going after any altar that is accepting sacrifice for for your family to be destroyed. The altar of the blood of Jesus will destroy them tonight.
Amen.
Lift up your hands. Say, Father,
Father,
I lift my hands unto you.
I lift my hands unto you.
I stand upon the power
I stand upon the power
that is in the blood of Jesus.
that is in the blood of Jesus.
I stand upon the power.
I stand upon the power.
Just what it. Do you know that what you want to ask me, brother? Do you know that God has started doing it already? What you are seeking for is already being taught now.
Amen.
We are still going to pray, but God said it's already being taught now.
Thank you, Jesus.
The Lord has spoken,
Amen.
and nobody can defeat His word.
Amen.
See, lift up your hand. Say, Father,
Father,
I come against
I come against
any evil altar
any evil altar
that Satan is sacrificing.
that Satan is sacrificing.
Anything against my life,
Anything against my life
or any evil altar
or any evil altar
that is holding my name
that is holding my name
for evil,
for evil,
or the name of my family
or the name of my family
for evil,
for
or the
evil,
name of my children
or the names of my children
for evil,
for evil,
any ancient altar
any ancient altar
that holds destinies
that holds
in
destinies
my family,
in my family,
I come against you
I come against you
tonight by
tonight
the anointing
by the anointing
and the power
and the power
of Holy Ghost.
of Holy
As
Ghost.
I lift my hands,
As I lift my
I
hands,
receive power,
I receive power.
I receive anointing.
I receive
As
anointing.
I clap it,
As I
I release
clap,
fire
I release
and
fire
anointing
and
of
anointing
Holy Ghost
of Holy
to
Ghost
destroy
to destroy
altar.
such altar.
Destroy
Be destroyed
by fire.
by fire.
Destroy
Be destroyed
by fire.
by fire. Be destroyed 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 by fire. In the name
Of Jesus.
of Jesus.
Our death cannot be held in any evil work.
No.
Our them are going to be attached with fire.
Amen.
We'll pray this prayer in our house. That let our name be attached with fire.
Amen.
That any place they will mention our name for evil, let the fire of God come out and consume them.
Amen.
Because God is able to fight for us.
Amen.
Deuteronomy 4 verse 24. Moses was saying to them, have you not known that the Lord your God is a jealous God and a consuming fire? Our God is a consuming fire.
Amen.
So Satan cannot play with our destiny and go free.
No.
No, they cannot go free.
Amen.
That's why he played with destiny. He didn't go free. He wants to touch the children of God. He paid with his life.
Yes.
Because God is a consuming fire.
Amen.
He's jealous over his children. So anything that will come to destroy his children, God will first destroy that thing.
Amen.
That is what enemy doesn't know. The mistake an enemy has done is for them to fight you.
Amen.
That is the mistake enemy have done. Because our days shall be consumed.
By fire.
The earth, our name shall be released.
Amen.
Let's pray it one more time. Say, Father,
Father,
I stand upon the power.
I stand upon the power
It's in the name of Jesus.
that is in the name of Jesus. And I come against
Any evil altar
any evil altar
that is holding my name,
that is holding my name,
my children's name,
my children's name,
my family members' name,
my family members' name,
any altar
any altar
that hold our names,
that holds our name,
that hold our destiny,
that holds our
our
destinies,
finances,
our finances,
our marriage,
our marriages,
our blessings,
our blessings,
bondage.
in bondage.
As I clap my hands,
As I clap my hands
prayer,
in prayer,
release the fire
I release the
of
fire
Holy Ghost
of Holy Ghost
destroy
to destroy
altar,
such altar. Be destroyed by fire. 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 In the name
of Jesus.
of Jesus.
That's why we say Savior, He can move the mountain.
Amen.
That is my God, is mighty to save.
Amen.
Is it not why you are going to sing it? Because He's going to move the mountain. That's why we're going to sing it now. That Savior, He can move the mountain. Because He's mighty to change tonight.
Amen.
Savior, He can move the mountain. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, Lord of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. Savior, He can move the mountain. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, Lord of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave.
Jesus conquered the grave.
Savior, He can move the mountain. My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, Lord of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. Shine a light now, let the whole world see. We are singing for the glory, for the eternity. Jesus, shine a light now, let the whole world see.
Let the power of the teacher,
For the
let the anointing of the Holy Ghost soak this place. Strengthen us by the power of the Holy Ghost. Yes. It shall be done in the name of Jesus. I come against every plot of the enemy. I declare them by the power in the name of Jesus. Let me hear the word of the Lord. Hey, He told us by Yakata. You will not listen to the voice of God.
My God is mighty to save. He is mighty to save. Forever, Lord of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave. Jesus conquered the grave. Savior,
Divine protection. Divine protection.
my God is
In the
mighty
name of
to
Jesus.
save. He is mighty to
By the
save.
reason of His anointing.
Forever, Lord of salvation. He rose and conquered the grave.
By His anointing.
Conquered
On
the
the day of the
grave.
you will deliver
Shine
the
a light now,
The
let the
anointing
whole
of God will
world
protect you.
see.
The anointing of God will see you through.
For the
The anointing
glory
of the Holy Ghost
of
will
the
see you through.
eternity.
This baby shall live. In the name Jesus. It shall be in the name of Jesus. You shall hear the voice of the Lord and the light of His Spirit. Thank you, Holy Ghost.
Let the whole world sing. We are singing for the glory of the risen King. Jesus, shine your light now. Let the whole world sing. We are singing for the glory of the risen King. Shine your light now. Let the whole world sing. We are singing for the glory of the risen King. Shine your light now, let the whole world sing.
Come on.
We are singing for the glory of the risen King. Shine your light now, let the whole world sing. We are singing for the glory of the risen King. Shine your light now, let the whole world sing. We are singing for the glory of the risen King.
Glory to Jesus. Father, you can move the mountain. You are mighty to save.
Amen.
Lord Jesus will present this application
Yes, Lord.
over to you, Lord.
Over to you, Jesus.
And all the applications concerning the members of this ministry,
Amen.
those that are going to apply for this scheme,
Amen.
Father, will leave the application unto you.
Amen.
It's not by might, it's not by power,
Yes, Lord.
but by your spirit.
Amen.
We'll use this envelope as a point of contact
Yes, Jesus.
to all other applications that has gone out of this ministry.
Amen.
Verse 4.
Yes, Lord.
Lord Jesus, will pray that you move every mountain
Amen.
that is standing before the application.
Amen.
Lord, by your spirit, move every mountain.
Amen.
Move it out of the way.
Out.
Move it out of the way. Move
Out.
it out of the way.
Out.
You are mighty to save.
Amen.
Father, save the application.
Amen.
Let the application find favor in your sight.
Yes,
Let the
Lord.
applications of the members of this ministry
Yes,
find favor in your sight.
Jesus.
That in this ministry,
Yes,
there will be
Lord.
no stamp 2.
Amen.
There will be no stamp 3.
Amen.
But there will be stamp 4. Lord,
Hallelujah.
here upon this altar,
Yes,
in
Jesus.
this ministry,
Amen.
cancel stamp 2.
Thank you,
We'll receive
Jesus.
stamp 4.
Thank you,
We'll
Lord.
cancel stamp 2.
Yes,
We'll cancel
Jesus.
stamp 3.
Amen.
We'll cancel stamp 1.
Yes,
We'll
Jesus.
receive stamp 4.
Thank you,
In
Lord.
the name of Jesus.
Amen.
You have done it before.
Yes.
You will do it again.
Amen.
Father, do it for them.
Amen.
That their people will know that you are mighty to save.
Yes, Lord.
You are mighty to save.
Yes,
You are
Jesus.
mighty to save.
Amen.
Let this application attach with your angels.
Yes,
We'll
Lord.
hand it over all the application of members of this ministry
Amen.
with your angels.
Yes,
All
Lord.
the immigration applications.
Amen.
We'll ask your angel to take charge.
Amen.
They will never enter into any wrong hand.
No.
They will never go to the wrong table.
No.
Let your angel take charge.
Yes,
Let your angel
Jesus.
take it to the right table.
Amen.
People that you are going to use to favor them.
Yes,
Let your
Lord.
angel take charge.
Amen.
Angel guide the application.
Amen.
Let your angel guide the process.
Yes,
Let your
Jesus.
angel grant them their stamp.
Amen.
By your command.
Yes,
By
Lord.
your power.
Amen.
By your favor.
Yes,
By your
Jesus.
spirit.
Amen.
By your grace.
Yes, Lord.
So shall it be.
Amen.
Satan, hear the word of the Lord.
Yes.
The mouth of the Lord has spoken.
Amen.
This application shall be successful.
Thank you,
Don't
Jesus.
stop any application here.
Amen.
Upon this altar,
Yes,
the
Lord.
power of God will proceed.
Amen.
And the power of God will consume every works of darkness
Amen.
that will stand against any application.
Yes, Jesus.
Father, let your power proceed from this altar.
Amen.
Let it be altar versus altar.
Yes,
Let it be
Jesus.
altar versus altar.
Amen.
Let it be altar versus
Yes,
altar.
Lord.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Is there anyone here that need new job? Father, give them new job.
Amen.
May the power that produce job
Yes.
move from this altar
Amen.
to go and create job for them.
Amen.
Let the power of God
Yes,
move
Jesus.
from this altar
Amen.
to go and create a position for them.
Amen.
Because God said He make it a way
Yes.
where there seems to be no way.
Amen.
Father, let your power
Amen.
go and create that position.
Yes, Jesus.
Let your power
Yes,
go
Lord.
and create that position. Let your
Amen.
power
Yes,
go and
Jesus.
create that job.
Amen.
But the Bible said that you are the creator of heaven and earth.
Yes.
Father, create that job for them.
Amen. Yes, Jesus.
Those that are looking for marriage.
Amen.
When you created Adam,
Yes.
you put Adam under a sleep in order
Amen.
for you to give Adam Eve.
Yes.
Father, in their sleep,
Amen.
their husband,
Yes,
even
Jesus.
their wife.
Amen.
As they go to sleep, Lord,
Yes,
tonight,
Lord.
their husband shall be created.
Thank you, Lord.
Their wife shall be created.
Amen.
Their marriage shall be announced.
Yes,
Their
Jesus.
marriage shall be announced. Their
Amen.
husband shall be created.
Yes,
Their
Lord.
wife shall be created.
Amen.
Their marriage will be announced.
Yes,
In the
Jesus.
name of Jesus.
Amen.
I like God for one thing. Because He's so powerful.
Amen.
That is one thing I like God for. He's so powerful. If He's not powerful, I will not serve Him. He's so powerful that nobody can stop Him. So when you cannot stop Him. God is real. That's why I said to Satan, Satan did not have power to stop our prophetic word. Because I was born for Him.
Amen.
I didn't choose myself.
Mm-mm.
I would have enjoyed my life in jacuzzi, in 5-star hotel,
That's it.
but I decided to answer the calling.
Hallelujah.
So He must show forth.
Amen.
I said, God, if you can't show forth, I cannot go. So therefore, tonight I prophesy
Yes, Jesus.
by the Spirit of prophecy
Yes, Lord.
that whatever that make you to fail,
Amen.
the same thing they will make you to prosper.
Amen.
Whatever that make you to fail,
Yes,
the
Lord.
same thing will make you to prosper.
I receive that.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Father, in this ministry,
Yes, Jesus.
upon this altar, there will never be a failure.
Amen.
I stand upon this altar
Yes,
to
Lord.
decree
Yes,
and to
Jesus.
declare and
Amen.
to prophesy
Yes, Lord.
in divine power of Christ deliverance ministry.
Amen.
There will be no a failure.
Thank you,
This ministry will not
Jesus.
no failure.
Amen.
Members of this ministry shall not fail.
Thank you, Lord.
You shall not fail.
Thank you,
You
Jesus.
shall not fail.
Thank you,
You shall not
Lord.
fail.
Thank you, Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Jesus is here, we cannot fail.
Amen.
It may look like failure, but it's not failure.
Yes, amen.
It's a process time.
Amen.
It's a waiting time.
Amen.
So Satan may count it a failure, but we know it's not a failure.
Yes, amen.
Because Mordecai was a great man, they thought he's failed. He didn't fail. He was just there waiting for promotion.
Amen.
Because there is no vacant in the seat.
Yes.
God has to remove Haman
Hallelujah.
to bring Mordecai.
Hallelujah.
So God has to remove somebody
Yes.
to bring you.
Praise God. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Praise God. Amen.
Because the Bible says that God is one who promotes. He
Yes.
said He put one down and promote another.
Amen.
So it doesn't matter who is going to put down. What matters that He put us for.
Thank you, Lord.
That is what matters.
Amen.
And we are going to sing, come and join me, sing hallelujah. Are you get what I'm saying? That is what matters.
Amen.
That is what matters.
Yes.
That somebody is going to be promoted. That
Amen.
is what matters.
Yes.
That we are going to be the first, we are not the last.
Thank you,
That is what
Jesus.
matters.
Amen.
We are going to be the head, we are not going to be the tail.
Amen.
That is what matters.
Amen.
And nobody can stop it.
Nobody.
So enemy will try, but they will not prevail.
Amen.
Because when God was calling Jeremiah, he said, look, Jeremiah, don't look at their faces, yo. Because some faces of people who want to give you promotion, their faces will be like, you will say, is there any problem when you enter the office? He said, don't look at their faces. The only thing you need to do, greet them nice.
Yes.
Greet them like Esther.
Amen.
and said to them, sir, is there anything wrong? They'll say, no, something is not wrong. You have one here. He said, okay, because I can just ask.
Yeah.
Their faces doesn't matter.
Amen.
What matters that God has assigned them?
Amen.
They will do the job.
Yes, amen.
Because if they don't, God will remove them. And He will appoint another person.
Amen.
Because the seat is for you.
Thank you, Jesus.
He has created it. It will happen.
I receive
Because
it.
He said, my word will not go out
Amen.
and return back to me void.
Amen.
So therefore tonight,
Amen.
I stand up on this altar
Yes, Lord.
and I decree and I prophesy.
Yes, Jesus.
You are seat of promotion.
Amen.
Whosoever that is sitting upon it,
Yes, Jesus.
God shall uproot them. He
Amen.
shall uproot them. You
Amen.
shall be promoted.
Yes,
My
Lord.
God shall uproot them. Any
Amen.
power that sits upon your seat of promotion
Yes, Jesus.
shall be uprooted tonight. Shall be uprooted tonight.
By
And
fire.
God shall promote you. God shall
Amen.
promote you.
I receive
In the name of
promotion.
Jesus.
Amen.
Haman was sitting on seat for Mordecai. He said to people, there is sometimes what belongs to me. Somebody who is holding it doesn't bother me. Because he just holding it because I was still on transit. You see, when I was on transit, my bag is being held. I didn't see my bag until I land.
Amen.
Then the airline released my bag.
That's it.
But if I'm on transit, it looks like I don't see my bag. I check on seat for something close, but I didn't see it until I landed in Lagos.
Hallelujah.
And the girl was saying to me, you can go to Terminal 2 and you wait for your bag. I was waiting, my bag landed because I was on transit.
Amen.
When you are holding my blessing,
Amen.
I was on transit when you are holding the position.
Thank you, Jesus.
So when I landed, where
Amen.
I'm going, your position, the position will be for me.
Amen. Amen.
There is space for me because
Yes.
that is my location.
Amen.
My landing place is my position.
Amen.
So when God is taking me on transit, don't think that I have failed.
No.
Let me say, my enemy, do not rejoice over me.
Yes.
Because if I fall 7 times, I shall rise up again.
Amen.
Tonight you shall rise up again.
Thank you,
Tonight you
Jesus.
shall rise up again.
Thank you, Lord.
Tonight you shall rise up again.
Thank you,
By the
Jesus.
power of the Holy Ghost. In
Amen.
the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Listen, we ask God for this service to be a special service.
Yes.
That's why I'm full of anointing.
Amen.
I want to give it out
We receive it.
because I cannot take it home.
Amen.
Because I am pregnant with it.
Receive
So I need
it.
to deliver it.
We receive it.
So don't look about time.
Amen.
Are you guys what I'm saying?
Yes,
You
Jesus.
don't look at time in this kind of service.
No,
Because what I receive is what I'm releasing.
we receive it.
So if you're on transit, do you know if you're on transit, anything that happens, airline will be making you until they find your bag.
Amen.
So the same way, when your position is created for you, you have a saying. Do you think that God with his angel will be saying to you, calm down? We are going to put you there. Calm down. The airline will be saying to you, can't you exercise patience, sir? We are doing everything to locate your bag.
Amen.
So the same way, God was saying to Mordecai, just calm down. Because I am working on something for you.
Amen.
I have said, do you know that I'm the one who sent Esther?
Yes.
For him to be there for you, Mordecai.
Amen.
So I am working on something. Mordecai, the only thing you need to do, calm down.
No.
That means be patient.
Amen.
That is what we call capital P.
Amen.
Joseph, when he was in a pit, he has it. He calmed down.
Amen.
He went to palace, they take him back to prison. He calmed down.
Amen.
But from prison, when they brought him out,
Yes.
Bible says immediately they brought him out.
Amen.
Know that he was wearing the prison garment.
Yes.
The first thing that happened to his life, they removed the prison garment,
Yes.
shaved him, and put him in royal attire. On
Amen.
the day of promotion,
Yes.
your royal attire will
Amen.
get you. God shall put upon you royal
Yes,
attire.
Jesus.
In
Amen.
the name of Jesus.
Amen.
They know that Joseph cannot go with prison garment to the king.
No.
The first thing the people who brought him out, because Joseph that time was immediate. Before he was on transit, God has to create the dream And God has the great interpretation. You know, do you know before Joseph, there is no vacancy in prime minister office. So God has to wait. Joseph has to be in prison for prime minister office to be vacant.
Amen.
And God has to create the position.
Yes.
He has to create the dream.
Amen.
He has to create the interpretation.
Wow.
So Joseph was having capital P.
Amen.
He was in prison, he was patient.
Amen.
He was in pit, he was patient.
Amen.
He was in palace as a servant, he was patient.
Amen.
He know that his position is for prime minister.
Yes.
And he know one day,
Amen.
one day,
Yes, Lord.
only but one day.
Amen.
That's why I like Isaiah 10:27. He said, in that very day,
Yes.
the burden upon our shoulders shall be lifted up,
Amen.
and the yoke off our neck.
Yes.
He said, the yoke shall be destroyed
Amen.
because of our anointing.
Amen.
Tonight, every yoke that said that your promotion will not come,
Mm.
they shall be destroyed.
By
They shall be
fire.
destroyed.
By fire.
They shall be destroyed.
By fire.
They shall be destroyed.
By fire.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
In this kind of service is what I hear, is what I speak.
Amen.
We always operate by Holy Ghost, but as soon as He gives us, we speak.
Amen.
The yoke shall be destroyed
Amen.
because of anointing.
Thank you, Lord.
And the Holy Ghost is here tonight.
Amen.
You know, Holy Ghost is the power of God in action.
Amen.
Bible said that Jesus said to them, go to Jerusalem and wait. You shall receive power when the Holy Ghost come upon you.
Yes.
And as soon as they received power, Peter tried it. Peter preached someone, but the miracle haven't happened there. Souls were won. But when he was going at the beautiful gate, he looked at the man who was in the beautiful gate. Bible said this man was in a beautiful gate, and temple was very close. But nothing was beautiful in his life. He was a beggar. He couldn't go to temple to pray with them. And it was, people were much, oh, hello, how are you? They go and see God. He stayed there. When they come, please, can you just give me something? But one day Peter looked at him and said, look, God said to us, we shall receive power when the Holy Ghost come upon us.
Yes.
And I have received power that I know that I can lay hands on the sick. The sick shall be healed.
Amen.
Peter said, let me try it. Bible said he was looking at the man. The man said, Peter, can you give us money? Then Peter said, no, we don't have money. What we have, we are going to give you.
Amen.
He said, you are looking for silver. We don't have it. You are looking for gold. You don't have it because you have been begging all the days of your life. Today, I want to make you not to be a beggar anymore.
Amen.
Because if only that I can use this anointing.
Yes, Jesus.
He said, in the name of Jesus,
Amen.
rise up and walk.
Amen.
In the name of Jesus.
Yes, Jesus.
Even the man could not rise up. Peter laid his hand and take him up by the hand.
Amen.
Anointing was transferred. And the man, Bible says, he started limping.
Amen.
The house of the Lord, that beautiful gate, the man entered it that day.
Amen.
Life was beautiful.
Hallelujah.
Everybody begin to look at what goes on. They say, oh, Peter, you who was a failure, what happened here? We know your father. Your father was a poor fisherman. He has experience, but he don't have money. He has been fishing. We know you going with your father to the sea. When you fail to catch a fish, you don't go back home because we know your mom cannot tolerate that. You know, women. Whenever if you hear when somebody fail, he doesn't go back home early. Even in school, when we're in school, when the results came, you fail, you don't go back home early because you know that your father will kill you. That's why I know that failure, there is a shame that attached to failure.
Yes.
You cannot go back home early. You begin to hide with your result. My father will ask you, have they give you result in school? No, Papa. Yes, no, yes, no. What kind of yes, no? Can you be able to show us your result? Papa, the teacher said, it's only the math teacher, Papa. Papa, did you just show the result? You begin to make all these excuses. What has math teacher done? Nothing. She's doing her job. Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
And what happened? But when Peter said, no, I'm no more longer a failure. Peter then was announced that Peter, this man who know Then all of them gathered together. Peter said, no, we did not do it by our own power, but through Jesus, by the anointing of the Holy Ghost, this man can walk.
Amen.
That is when Peter tried the power, it was working.
Amen.
I stand up on this altar.
Yes, Jesus.
The anointing of the Holy Ghost that is here.
Amen.
They shall work for you.
Amen.
They shall work for you.
I receive it.
Wherever you are paralyzed,
Yes, Lord.
I decree the anointing of the Holy Ghost
Amen.
to bring you out of that place.
Yes, Jesus.
Rise up and walk.
I receive
Rise
it.
up and walk.
I receive
Rise
it.
up and come out
I
of that
receive it.
situation. In the name of Jesus.
Yes, Jesus.
So shall it be.
Amen.
So shall it be.
Amen.
Because the mouth of the Lord has spoken.
Yes.
You see, our fasting is starting next month. We are praying for double miracle.
Amen.
And we're in the month of double. Next month, I have received the double.
Amen.
So I will deliver it.
Yes, Jesus.
No matter what Satan does, I will deliver it.
Amen.
And it's going to work.
Amen.
Because when Moses go to the mountain and come back, Bible says he delivered what he received.
Yes.
And the children of Israelites was moving forward by that.
Amen.
So it doesn't matter how many years you have been crippled. There is a man of Galilee
Amen.
who have done it before.
Amen.
He will do it again.
Thank you, Lord.
I like that song. Well, the place where we used to sing it. A man of Galilee, he has done it before. He said, and he will do it again. Glory to Jesus. Don't worry tonight. We don't have time to sing our song. On Sunday we are here. Because Holy Ghost has been giving me sign. He said, you have to be able to calm down. Because I cannot finish my work in one day. He said, my work is there every day that you stand here. So lift up your hands. Father, I decree and declare that whatever we have received today
Amen.
shall be permanent in our life.
Thank you, Jesus.
It shall manifest
Amen.
by the power in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Your blessing today shall manifest.
Amen.
I shall see it.
Yes, Lord.
Ears shall hear about it.
Amen.
Mouth shall talk about it.
Yes,
So
Jesus.
shall it be.
Amen.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen.
Can you celebrate Jesus in the community? Celebrate Jesus, celebrate Jesus. That's why, because I want to pray for these people. Because I know, okay, on Sunday I will do that. I'm going to pray for people I'm sending on a prophetic mission. When I say on a prophetic mission, that is what I want them to go and do to their family. Glory to Jesus.
Amen.
I will prepare the mantle, I will prepare the oil. I send them on a prophetic mission. They are going to be a deliverer to their family.
Amen.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
I said to Satan, no matter what you do, I'm doing what I was born to do.
Amen.
I wasn't, let me say this, I was doing what I was born to do. So you can never stop me. If you cannot stop Jesus, you cannot stop me.
Amen.
And Jesus is here tonight.
Amen.
Do you know one thing that gives me joy? That will boast in the Lord.
Amen.
It's not me, but Christ in me.
Amen.
Glory to Jesus.
Hallelujah.
We are going to take our offering while our brother is singing. Then on Sunday, we're here.
Amen.
Remember, our Bible study starts 10:45. Then Sunday is going to be glorious. It's going to be awesome.
Amen.
Because Jesus, what he started, he will do it, he will finish it.
Amen.
So on Sunday, the power of God will be here.
Amen.
We're going to see God in action.
Amen.
So we are here on Sunday.
Yes, Jesus.
Just give us one song, cool, then we're taking our offering. Glory to Jesus.
God is fighting for us. back the darkness, lighting up the kingdom. Let them know the shame. In the name of Jesus, enemies defeated. And we will shout it out, shout it out. God is fighting for us, pushing back the darkness, lighting up the kingdom. Let them know the shame. In the name of Jesus, enemies defeated. And we will shout it out, shout it out. God is fighting for us, pushing back the darkness, lighting up the kingdom that cannot be shaken. In the name of Jesus, enemies defeated. And we will shout it out, shout it out. God is fighting for us, pushing back the darkness, lighting up the kingdom that cannot be shaken. In the name of Jesus, enemies defeated. And we will shout it out, shout it out. God is fighting for us, pushing back the darkness, lighting up the kingdom that cannot be shaken. In the name of Jesus, enemies defeated. And we will shout it out, shout it out.
Lift up your hands. Glory to Jesus. I want you to pray this prayer before you go. Wait. I want you to pray this prayer before you go. I want you to say in your, just begin to ask God one thing. Don't close it, just put it. I want you to ask God for one thing that you want to see in your life. Just before the end of the year. I want you just to pray this prayer and say, Father, in what area that this is what I want to see manifest in my life as a result of your power here tonight. So I want you to just pray it by, if you can pray in your native language, that's fine. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed. Listen. Pray it later, isn't it? So, Father, I stand up on this altar. May your petition, your prayer request be granted unto you. By the power in the name of Jesus. Receive the answer to your prayer request. Receive the answer to your prayer request. Receive the answer to your prayer request. By the power of the Holy Ghost. In the name of Jesus. So shall it be. In Jesus' mighty name. Father, we pray for this offering. We pray for this seed. We pray for the tithe. Father, bless the hand that gives. Bless the hand that did not give. Lord, bless every hand that have sown in this ministry. For one thing or the other. Father, they will receive double portion. In this month of double portion that we are going to enter, in the month of November, Father, may double miracle follow them. Let the double blessing follow them. Let the double breakthrough follow them. In the name of Jesus. Father, let their seed grow. Let them eat the fruit of their seed. And so shall it be. We'll cover ourselves with the blood of Jesus. We'll cover our own with the blood of Jesus. We'll cover our jobs with the blood of Jesus. We'll cover our family with the blood of Jesus. We'll cover our children with the blood of Jesus. We'll cover our finances with the blood of Jesus. Lord, thank you for doing it. We'll cover our miracle with the blood of Jesus. Our blessings with the blood of Jesus. In Jesus' mighty name. Let us share the grace. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the sweet fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Surely, goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our life, and we shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. Jesus. 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 Amen. God bless you for coming.